I called his name like 5 times. His name is Handsome, and nobody came.
A Sunday stroll with her best friend ends with a tragic loss and unanswered questions. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson. We start tonight with a very tough story to hear in the town of Oregon. A walk to a nature conservancy ended with a woman's dog dead in a trap. And the night team's David Douglas talked with her. She wants to warn others so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and Sarah, everyone involved feels awful about this, and we want to tell you one more time, this is a hard story to hear. The conservancy is off Lawler Road in the town of Oregon. As we discovered today, the situation unfolded on land with parallel property lines and perpendicular regulations. And their intersection yesterday is causing a whole lot of heartache.
No camping, hunting, trapping, fishing, or fires.
The rules seem simple enough, though it turns out they don't apply to all the land on the other side of this sign.
I wouldn't think that a trapper would set a trap that you could get hurt in. I mean, nobody would think that.
Yet as he played here Sunday, Carolyn Sheppel's dog Handsome got caught in a trap that wouldn't let go.
I walked up to him and there was this horrible trap on him that clamped his throat like this and his mouth, that pushed in his snout, and you could not move it no matter how hard you tried, and I tried. And there was no one around and it was hopeless. I knew he was dead.
Her agony is obvious. What's less clear are the answers about how this could happen.
People told me that they bring their dogs here all the time.
It's all a little confusing. From the gate, you'd think everything was conservancy property, but off to the left is actually private land. The conservancy begins back off to the right. The narrow strip of land you have to use to get there is actually owned by the DNR. And on this property, hunting and trapping are perfectly legal. Should there be a sign that says there is DNR property and there could be hunting and trapping going on? I could get hurt, someone else could get hurt back there?
We do our best to mark those properties, and it's certainly something that I'll mention to the property manager and see if we can get some better markings out there.
A simple step that won't ease Sheppel's pain, but might help another dog owner from going through what she'll never forget.
The dog was whimpering and crying for quite some, a few minutes, much more than I would ever want him to.
And our hearts certainly go out to her. The state director of the Nature Conservancy tells me they feel terrible this happened. They're gathering information to form the best possible response so nothing like this ever happens again. It turns out on the group's website, rules do prohibit pets, but there is no such prohibition posted at the site. And we're told dogs regularly roam the fields.
Well, and as you pointed out, but I know a lot of parents out there are thinking to themselves, a kid, a person could probably get trapped in one of those too, yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy Ploutz, the DNR Conservation Warden Supervisor you heard from in our story, wanted to point out that it's important people realize their lands have legal mixed use, and people really have to be careful. But again, from that side, you didn't know this was DNR land, so maybe a sign there would say, this butts right up against where people can hunt and trap. You need to know.
And I guess you can only be so careful, right? Thanks, David.